guys, it is Tanya, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another speed build. I am so excited to share this build with you guys, and excited to announce that this is the return of my state series here on my channel. If you're not familiar, a couple of years ago, I started building houses representing various states in the United States based purely on real estate website listings. And it all started with Wyoming because of a funny conversation me and my boyfriend had. I will link that one down below. Probably I'll link a playlist to the various state builds I've done. I think I've only done 3 so far, but I've been asked many, many times if I'm going to bring this back. So that's what we're doing here today. And so we are back with the state of Florida. I thought that would be a really fun one to start back with because I just visited Florida for the first time in my life like a week ago. So we are back starting with Florida, and I will be basing this house mostly off of things I found online. It's not a replica of any particular house, but it is strongly inspired by a variety of homes that I did see, as well as things I've heard about the state. And to kick things off, one of the things I always do in these state builds is list off way too many things about the state, from like population to just silly fun facts. So let's get right into that. Florida is nicknamed the Sunshine State, and it is the southeasternmost state in the United States, surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico on the other side. It is the third most populous state with 21 million inhabitants, but the capital itself has less than 200,000, which is the capital of Tallahassee. It's a huge tourist destination, mostly for Miami and Orlando, and it's the top travel destination in the world with 90 million visitors every year, which is wild. The top tourist attractions are Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, Kennedy Space Center, Miami Beach, Everglades National Park, and the Daytona 500 International Speedway. And Disney World. Okay, this blew me away. I'm not shocked because I was just there, but they average 45 to 53,000 visitors every day. Sometimes upwards of 100,000 a day, which is crazy. So that's why it has that reputation for long lines. And another one of those key attractions, the Florida Everglades, is the only place on the planet where crocodiles and alligators live together, which I thought was very fascinating. And another thing that I feel like we all are aware of at this point, Florida is a very popular destination for retirement, but it's also the flattest state in the US, and their population has doubled since 1980. I will come back to the last couple ones in a little while. Let's get back to the build first, but I just love reading up on states when I do these builds. It's so much fun. So if you guys have a suggestion for what build I should do next based off of real estate websites, as well as like spewing out facts at you about various states in the United States, let me know, because I'd like to do some more of these. We're going to wait until after Tiny Living hype goes down, but I am very excited to bring this series back because it's super fun for me because of all the inspiration I get to get, as well as learning more about other parts of the country. Anyway, we are working on landscaping now. I went over the top with landscaping, like really over the top with landscaping, but I had a lot of fun with it. I did cut out some of it, and I also cut out the bathrooms in this house because this build took quite some time. And speaking of this house, it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom pool. A 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a giant pool, and it comes in around 111,000 simoleons. And I did decorate this house assuming that somebody owns it, but they rent it out to people who are vacationing here. So it's kind of decorated that way. So it's a little sparse. It's very neutral. There's a lot of blues inside. There's some oranges, but it's mostly blue. And I just thought this was a really fun, different build to do. Of course, I couldn't stay away from blue somehow. I do have an issue with that, but that is why it's decorated the way it is. It's meant to look more like people live here for a couple weeks at a time at the most. But here we are working out the floor plan. It did take me a while. There are 2 bedrooms upstairs and 1 downstairs, and then 1 bathroom on each floor. And it was just like difficult to fiddle with. I wish we had more artwork that felt like it fit this theme. I used like the beachy artwork upstairs, and then other than that, I wasn't really sure what to do. I put the flip-flops that are on a string light from the holiday pack in one of the bedrooms as well. But most of it is just fairly neutral, but there is a giant pool out back. I didn't feel like I wanted to decorate it super, this is a holiday home, like just kind of simple, neutral house, because I do imagine somebody does live here. Maybe they live here a majority of the time and they only rent it out for a few months of the year when they're visiting family elsewhere. I know that's a pretty popular thing to do, so I enjoyed that. Also, the pool is enclosed in the back. I was kind of imagining that was a screened-in deck area. From what I've heard and seen online, there are a lot of screened-in pools to keep out the bugs. So that's kind of what that was meant to be. So I used those windows from Island Living. I thought they gave the closest I could do to a screened-in porch. And I think it looks really cute and pretty. And I was just like, I want to take all the screenshots in here by the pool. It's so gorgeous. So I really enjoyed doing that. I also just really like building houses with pools because that's not something I've ever had in my life. So it's kind of fun to imagine what that would be like, I suppose. Have any of you guys had a pool growing up, or do you have a pool now? What's that like? What's it like being able to just go outside and go swimming whenever you like? I don't even think anyone in my family has ever had a pool. I don't think so. But anyway, we are working on the kitchen now. It is overly neutral. A lot of this house is overly neutral, but I do fix it a little bit. I try to make it less beige. So the backsplash in the kitchen, we do change to the beige and blue one that came with Parenthood a little bit later. But for right now, it's just like beige. It's pretty bad. But I really wanted it to be this neutral color tone because a lot of the kitchens I was looking at online, if they weren't updated super modern kitchens that were like fancy, just the generic kitchens were very beige. So that's kind of why I did that. Unfortunately, I didn't find anything crazy interesting in these houses like I did when I did the Wyoming house. I will always come back to that one because that's what spiraled this whole series into existence, and it was so much fun to do. But one thing I did see in a lot of houses, but since the style I went for in this one, I decided not to go with it, was there were a lot of pastel colors, like purples and blues and stuff. And I thought that was really pretty. I feel like that would work really nice for maybe a tiny home in Florida. I might do a tiny home inspired by some of those at some point. That could be really fun. Also, these rugs, I changed the color of so many times. Right now, they are dark brown. They were blue before. They're going to be that light beige rug that I use a lot in a little while. But in a bit, I'm going to change all of the floors. They're going to be the same tile that they are now from Spa Day, but they're going to be the darker brown color because I thought they blended into the walls too much. So I did update that. And then we're just adding a parenting board over here. I know that's more of a personal item, but I feel like it's something your Sims could use even if they were on vacation. Maybe they're planning out their vacation. It's kind of a cute object. But as you can see, there is clutter around. This is a house that is lived in. It's just not super personalized, if that makes sense. Hopefully that comes across because I feel like it looks like a vacation home or a home that some people live in, but they keep it really tidy for when they aren't here. And I was also thinking that maybe the downstairs bedroom, you could probably customize that a little bit more and make that locked off. And maybe that's the room that the people that own this house stay in when they're staying here. So they have all of their personal stuff in one room and the rest of the house is very neutral and kept clean for visitors that come by and stay here. Let me know what you guys think of that idea. Before I forget to mention it, this build is available on the Sims 4 gallery if you search Gryphi or the hashtag MsGryphi. That information is also in the description down below, as well as a direct download link to the gallery website if it's easier for you guys to download it that way. Also, this is my first voiceover I'm doing since gallery came to console, so that is so exciting for you guys. I do want to mention though that any of my builds that have been released since gallery came out for console you can't get yet because we're on different patch times, because I guess PC and console got a patch on the same day, but ours is a little bit ahead. So any of my older builds you can 100% download now, and then during your next patch, the ones that are coming out now, you should be able to download. Apparently that's how it's working. That's what I've been told. So sorry about that, but I'm so excited that you guys have the gallery now, so you can download PC things, we can download gallery things. It'll be so exciting to look through all of the submissions, also with future build challenges. And I have a suspicion that Squish Tours might be back soon with the release of Tiny Living. So I'm excited about that. And don't worry, I plan on having the window open for that in enough time for a gallery to get Tiny Living in early February and still have a few days to submit for that. I will be announcing that sometime later this week, but if you watched this, you have that sneaky little information ahead of time, so that's kind of cool. But here we are in the entryway of the house. We're just adding a couple of things on this console table to make it look decorated. I mean, that's kind of the point of putting decorations on it. But anyway, in the back hallway here, this is directly where you enter from the pool. We have the laundry area, and there's some towels and stuff to grab, which I thought made sense to be by the pool. And then we're adding some loungers out here. I think this just looks so pretty. It's so simple. We have a nice rainbow floaty. I really like that one. I thought it was really cute. I can imagine the kids being so excited to just like lounge around on that in the pool on their vacation. So enjoyed placing that down. But here we are in the downstairs bedroom. Like I said, I kept them all fairly simple, but this is the one that I was thinking could maybe be the room that the people that own the place live in. Maybe. I don't know. It is the garage space, so you could also just make this not a bedroom and make it actually a garage. It's entirely up to you. But I figured it would be better to have 3 bedrooms in this house, so I decided to make that one a bedroom as well. But this is the master bedroom. I think this came out so pretty with the blues and the beiges. I love that painting above the bed, and it took me ages to find it. I knew it was in the catalog. I knew that it wasn't the main picture. It was either the space one or like the rabbit and the pug, and I couldn't remember. And I was like, I can't find it. What is going on? It probably took me a solid 10 minutes of scrolling through the paintings to find that. I just scrolled past it so many times. Let me know if you guys ever do that, because I always scroll past things and it's really frustrating. But in here we have mismatched bedside tables. I kind of imagine one of them was actually the luggage the people brought, and then the other one was the bedside table supplied by the home. So I kind of liked that. And then there are those flip-flops on the string light that I plopped into the other room where we're going to have double beds. So you can definitely sleep up to 6 people in this house as long as 4 of them are willing to share a bed with one other person, because we have 2 double beds and then 2 single beds. And then this is the upstairs little hallway area. Very simple. And then we are into the final bedroom. So we're coming to the end of the video, so I have a couple of last things. I already mentioned a bunch of information about Florida, but this is also kind of cool. They have 1,300 golf courses. And then our final fact is, we know Florida is famous for their oranges, but did you know that they produce 70% of the US oranges, and they also produce a majority of the watermelon, tomatoes, strawberries, and sugar in the country, like the most of it in the entire country? I thought that was fascinating. And on that note, we're coming to the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You could also subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.